Hello everyone, this is Bro S of the Helidoc Bros signing in, doing another figure unboxing. Today I have Figma 263 Iona from Arpeggio of Blue Steel, Ars Nova. It's originally a manga. I think it started in 2009 and then became an anime series, which is how I came in contact uh, with the characters, or how I came to know the characters. So I'm going to talk about this while I do some of the top and side stuff. And I really enjoyed the characters, and I heard there were a couple more coming out, so I decided to start grabbing them, and I'm hoping that they get around to releasing all of them. But we'll wait and see. Flip this around. Is this the exact same as the top? Yes, it is. All right. But these girls they're similar to Concole, where they represent the ship, and they're called mental models as opposed to being the ships themselves. Well, they are the ship themselves, but they are also the like a personific or anthropomorphization of the ship, but they control the ship and are characters themselves, which is really strange, hard to explain. But I'm gonna get Iona unboxed here. I also have, before I go too much further, I have the pre-order bonus. I'm gonna get that built. It's a little chair that, if you've seen the series or you've seen or read the manga, you understand. Let me put this behind. So she has the rings like she does in the series itself. So I'm going to put those on. I'm going to go over a couple of the poses here. I don't want to do all of them. Might be a bit time consuming, and I do generally just like the one with the rings themselves. So I'm probably going to do that one last, but I do want to try and knock out a couple. And then she does have this pose where she comes with a different body part to pose it, so I'm going to do that as well. But let's get started. Let me push this back. So let's move this stuff first. This is the kneeling portion. I do have to remove her legs and put them on there. I think I might try and do that one first. Get the standard bag. Go over this stuff real quickly. Go over the instructions in a moment. So she's got 7 hands. The standard base, standard standard thing that holds her up, the arm, the bar, and the thing that will help attach to her back. She's got handful of other things in here. I think this might be, I'm not quite sure what that is. I'm sure, oh, that's to hold up the rings. I should have figured that out pretty quickly. And then there's another, okay, so yeah, there's a couple pieces that attach to each other. Let's go over some of the faces here real quickly. She has just a general smiley face. She has still somewhat smiley face, not concerned or anything. I think, so yeah, mainly it's her face that she has that's concerned. I'm going to go over a couple things. She's short for a Figma, but then again, a lot of the younger girls, I'll say, are shorter. Like a lot of the Love Live figures are incredibly short. Standard knee joints, ankle joints, knee joint, elbow, elbow and hand, and twist. She's got a little plastic there. I'll get that removed in just a second here. Put this last little couple things she has in here. We have I can get it out, starfish. Kind of cool. We have a hand with tea or coffee, one of the two. And then she has a little saucer for holding the tea, which is actually really kind of cool. You can barely see it. But let me start to get her into the poses. I want to try and pull her, let's pull her apart on camera a little bit. So let's get these leg portions off, but without, before I go too much farther, we'll put her there, we'll put that portion there. Open this up, and let's see, before I start, pulling off legs. So yeah, Japanese side, English side. So, goes over most of this stuff, and here is how to put the rings on. There we go. So yeah, it does attach detach right beneath the knee. Oh, it even detaches even beneath the knee where the boots are. Okay, so she just detaches at the boots right here. So let's pop these off real quickly without stressing them too much. Okay, so yeah, there's a little gap and they pulled right off. So that made that super simple, and I'll get her in this pose in just a moment. I kind of wanted to pull these off and figure out. And then, does it say anything else for that pose? No, it's just the top portion of her body. So I'm going to pull that off, pop that on, put the legs on. Give me just a few minutes and I'll get that all set up. So this is the first pose down. I actually had more trouble with the saucer here trying to keep this in place, and it's nearly falling out. I'm going to do a little spin and it's probably going to fall out. I have more trouble keeping. It's harder to keep. Yeah, see, it already fell out. It's hard to keep her upright like this, but then keep her hair down. Her hair is too long, and it's hard to get her in a proper kneeling position. These go back, but they only the legs go back only so far. The heels like will touch and prevent me from having her kneel back farther. It's interesting position. I actually like that they did this, but it's just big challenging. And her hair is just, it keeps her from, move her back a little bit, keeps her from, like fully looking up. So as interesting as it is, I'm not particularly fond of this position. It's a lot of work to actually keep her in this position, and then the saucer keeps falling out too. So it's always frustrating. So I'm going to move on to the next one, and hopefully that one turns out a little bit better. I want to do this thing with the little starfish. Move on to that one. So this is the second pose that I've tried to attempt. It's the starfish one here in the corner. As I'm putting this together, this does look kind of cool. But as I'm putting this together and unboxing her more, I've realized that she is one of the shortest, or probably the smallest Figma that I've probably ever come across. I decided to grab my Honoka from Love Live and just compare her. And even Honoka, who was my previous kind of smallest, is just, a good half head taller than her, which is absolutely insane. I think it's crazy how small Iona here is. Then again, she is kind of a small girl in the series, so I guess it's not that far of a cry. But I'm going to try and aim for this next one here, and I'll unbox this part and see what's going on with that and put that together and get her all set up in the last couple poses. So I've got her partially in the pose the way I wanted, but I just want to go over the way they package these rings. I thought they were individually, and I believe they are, but it's just they put it in one giant package that they just looped in on itself. They put a lot of tape on it, so I just wanted to go over that, and I wanted to try and get them out before I actually put them on her. That way it can show what they look like, because this is really kind of bizarre. Yeah, see, it's just 3 big rings, like so, and I'll organize them like they have there. I'll do that in just a moment, but I just wanted to go over that. So with the rings themselves, I'm actually going to show how they go on, just because there's there's a little tab right there and a little tab right there, and they fit into each other like so, and then fit into this. So I'm going to go over basically the entire thing. I didn't initially plan to, but it's actually kind of interesting. I want to see how it turns out as I put it together. So I'm going to pull her off. Actually pull off this piece too. And put this one on, because this is what's going to go into her back. Like so. I'm not going to put her on just yet. Well, actually I probably should, so I can wrap it around and start from the... And actually I'll probably start from the bottom up. So we've got that, like so. Which is kind of cool, lots of space. So these two rings are pretty much exactly the same. And they go on the top and bottom, and this one's really the only different one. So I'm going to start with the bottom, and actually going to try and... So I'm actually going to loop them into each other like so. So they fit. Actually, that won't work. I have to do it around her like so. Put these in. And then load it into the little, like, not sleeve, but the holder. It's having the hardest time going in, but I think I've got the general idea of how this works. Yeah, it keeps popping out. I'm going to play around with this for a few minutes and probably do the top one. But I just wanted to show how that works out. It's actually kind of interesting, if a little frustrating though. It took a lot of work, but I finally got her into the pose. The only problem is this lower ring, and as you see, they vibrate quite a lot. This lower ring, I can't get to move over and be kind of center her more. And let me move it up a little bit. It's really kind of bizarre how off-center it is. The other two are fine. And the other issue I have is, as I was putting these on, these are kind of like a sticker. I can't see it very well, and I really don't want to pull it off again with the issues I was having, but the sticker is already peeling. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, it is peeling right there in the corner. It's actually really frustrating because I didn't realize these are stickers. I thought these would just kind of be printed on or printed like that, but they're stickers so they can be pulled off if, you put too much effort into it, which is kind of frustrating. But that is the final pose I'm going to do like this. I'm actually going to open up the pre-order pack, or the pre-order thing, bonus. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, it is just simply a chair. I'm going to build it here in the off time and put her in there with her teacup. I think, well, I might pull her out of this pose, I might not. I think I might just do this because from what I understand, they're probably going to release a couple more with the chairs and tables similar to how it is in the series itself. As you can see, I finally got the chair built. It is very, very fragile. It does not want to stay together at all. It's really cool, I will admit that, the way it connected together, but it definitely needs to be glued, and I'm going to sit down and take some time to glue it. I was going to try and put Iona in the chair itself while drinking her tea. So this time it's without the the extra piece where she's the legs like this, and she doesn't want to sit down very well, which is kind of frustrating. But I don't want to put her in the other pose because that doesn't make much sense. But I'm just gonna attempt this. But I bet you the moment I sit her down, especially with her hair the way it is and the way it bends forward, the chair's gonna fall apart. Oh wow, it hasn't so far. And yeah, this armrest just fell off. So I'm just gonna leave that the way it is. It does look kind of cool. This is kind of a cool pose, but she doesn't sit down very well at all. I may have to play around with it a little bit, but probably not too much more. And yeah, that is Figma 263, Iona from Arpeggio, Blue Steel, Ars Nova, and there's a sequel movie as well, which came out late 2015, if I'm not mistaken. But the main series, it's got some bizarre animation. It is computer animated, but it does kind of have some pretty good action scenes. Very interesting, in my opinion. I highly recommend it if you like this character at all, or if you like some of the other characters, to possibly check it out. But as of right now, thank you guys for watching. This is Bro West of the Halodoc Bros. Peace out.